Alright creatives, today we're going to talk about video editing. So when I posted my first video on lighting, I got a beautiful question from a Chef Cassandra. And Chef Cassandra asks, "Do you have any editing tips?" To which I replied, "I do indeed. I'll get right on that, Chef." So this is my serving of tips and techniques so we can all make our videos look a little more snazzy. Pacho. Now, I did take the liberty of doing a little quick study on Chef Cassandra's page, and it looks like she's either doing iMovie or Final Cut, which is great because I trekked through my video editing journey on Mac software as well. Now, for those of you unfamiliar with iMovie and Final Cut, these are just two types of video editing software that Mac users can utilize to enhance their videos, iMovie being the free and more user-friendly option. Now, as you develop your editing skills, I would highly recommend that you upgrade to Final Cut Pro for professional post-production. I would also like to include that I am not sponsored by Fuji and/or Apple. These are just the products and services that I use to get the job done. Now, there are, of course, other types of video editing software out there, both free and subscription-based. There's DaVinci Resolve, there's Premiere Pro, there's Blender, and there's even more than that. You've got quite a bit of options to work with. I'm not sponsored by them either. Now, let's get back to Mac. I can at least say from personal experience that if you do dabble in either iMovie or Final Cut Pro, you're good to go. And this leads me to my first tip. Choose an editing software that works best for you and your budget. It does not have to be the most advanced or most expensive. iMovie actually got me from 2014 to 2021. Now, while I understood that I may have been ready for Final Cut Pro and its seemingly endless possibilities, I wasn't sure that I would actually take the time to learn all the complexities of a professional editing software. I ultimately did make the switch to Final Cut Pro, and personally I think it was well worth the one-time payment of a couple $100. Now that we've got an editor that works for us, let's move on to tip 2. Edit in camera. Whether it's an iPhone or a DSLR or a GoPro, learning all the smaller intricacies of your creative tool opens up more options for you as a creative. Consider things like your camera's resolution, battery life, record time, how do you adjust the white balance, adding grids, using the histogram, or even how your lens affects the perspective. All the parts and pieces down to cleaning the lens. Let's say you're using a phone, for instance. Testing out your phone's ability to lock focus, increase its resolution, or even using it in different lighting conditions can all change the quality of your shot. Lighting plays arguably the largest part, going toe-to-toe with audio. And I promise we'll get to audio soon. If you're curious about lighting and how it can transform your shot, feel free to check out my video on lighting. Now on to tip number 3. Camera manipulation. Now this tip can go hand in hand with editing in camera. With all the neat cuts and effects that an editor can do, it's easy to miss the liberties that we as creators can take before we even touch the computer. What do I mean? Well, in your camera, as you're shooting, you can manipulate the camera in different ways that create cool transitions and effects. For example, I can manually whip my camera up, down, left, or right to create a cool motion blur transition. Pretty neat, right? Since I created the effect inside the camera itself, I'm saving time in post. I simply add those clips to my timeline and then polish the effect as needed. Sometimes placing a dissolve and directional blur in between those clips can clean up the effect even further. There's also lens blocking, placing things in front of the camera to alter or block the shot. Things like magnifying glasses, cups, prisms, crystals, your body, or even a wall. While these glasses add a cool effect to your shot, your hand could offer total darkness. Obstructing the lens to black creates a perfect transition opportunity. Pretty sweet, I know. I call it black magic. Alright, as promised, tip number 4 is about audio. This includes music, microphones, and sound effects that you can use to enhance your video. Although audio may not seem like a video editing technique to some, it can be just as effective and important as lighting in painting a visual picture. I think of it as a glue that, if used appropriately, can highlight points in the story that you're trying to tell. Lately, I've been making my own music for my videos. This not only helps me avoid copyright infringement, but it also throws my character into the overall work, allowing me to connect with my audience on a more personal level. But if you don't have the time or resources to do it this way, don't fret. Both iMovie and Final Cut have song and sound effect options included in their software. There are also audio subscription websites that you can take advantage of if you really want to invest in your music and sound effects. Separately, I'm using my microphone to bring out the more richer tones of my voice, because oftentimes I find that cameras have limited audio capabilities, which makes a lot of sense because the main focus of a camera is image capturing. I'll give you a quick demonstration on me using my internal camera microphone and this external microphone so you can see the difference it makes. This is what my video would sound like if I were to use my camera's microphone. Now I've switched back to my external microphone. Boom. Alright creatives, my last tip. Tip number 5, animate the narrative. Whether you're using a downloaded stock animation package or just images you've acquired, you can highlight phrases and words in your video with images. Animation is the glitter, sparkle, and shine of video editing, the cherry on top. I do have to say that if you're really serious about adding animations to your video with more control and versatility, I found the best way is actually to invest in professional video editing software. Doing this will allow you to animate and track your images in ways that closely match your imagination. Keyframing, masking, tracking would be some of the terms associated with the kinds of animations that I do. Think of keyframes as starting and ending points in footage. You'll have the ability to mark those points. Think of masking as cutting out, isolating, or stacking a targeted portion of your video. And tracking allows you to locate and follow moving objects over time, like this. Actually, recently Apple added tracking as a built-in feature in Final Cut Pro, and it's actually pretty user-friendly. I just drag and release the desired animation over the video, and it tracks the area that I select within the desired animation. As you might have seen in my previous videos, I take full advantage of animating my narration to help me tell my story. These techniques, coupled with even adding animation to the built-in titles, have added the extra punch that I need. Like anything you want to excel at, these techniques will take time and practice. But I believe in you. And that, creatives, is all I've got for you for now. As always, if you have any questions or suggestions on any topics you'd like me to cover, hit me up in the comments and I'll see what I can do for you. Lastly, I'd like to give a big thanks to Chef Cassandra for inspiring today's topic. If you enjoyed the content and you want to learn more, make sure to like and subscribe.